And Shalom Israel. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Barakatham, Yahushua Malatham, Bashem Yahushua. This is the ISUPK, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana, Precinct Officer Howard Moore, ISUPK, Kentucky. And this is our Monday night history class. Now, before we get into it, before we go ahead on and get into it, I want to invite every so-called Black, Hispanic, and North American Indian to tune into our weekly content. Of course, Monday night we got the history class. Tuesday night Brotherhood class talk about Officer of 1,000. I'm a Wonga Bar. And Wednesday night the podcast, Cry Out, Spirit Not podcast, the baddest podcast around, the baddest podcast in Kentucky. Cry Out, Spirit Not podcast, hosted by Officers of 1,000. I'm a Wonga Bar and ISUPK. And come and hear these breakdowns, these biblical breakdowns from these priests and prophets of the Lord in the UPK under Commander General Yohana, and come hear the biblical breakdown, the biblical solution to all of the videos going across the internet right now. But again, tonight, ISUPK Kentucky under Commander General Yohana. This is going to be part three of my Black History Month. All right, like I said at the beginning of the month, I'm going to be doing every week, Lord willing, I'll be doing a different topic dealing with Black history. The first Monday of the month, I talked about the church, communism, and civil rights. All right, if you ain't get a chance to check it out, all right, if I may, go ahead and check it out. All right, last week I covered all Black towns in Indian Territory. And this week I got some straight drop for y'all. I'm going to talk about Black elites. We're going to talk about fraternities and sororities. We're going to talk about your Divine Nine. We're going to get into Black Masons. We're going to talk about Prince Hall Masons. And we're going to talk about the Boule. Now, I know everybody in the UPK is familiar with the Boule. But if you're not, if you're on the outside looking in, we're going to talk about the history of the Boule and who they are and their place dealing in Black history. Now, as usual, you finna get it like only the UPK can bring it to you. All right, Monday night history class, UPK, under Commander General Yohana. Let's go ahead and walk this down. Like I said, the topic of tonight's class is Black elites, fraternities, Masons, and Boule. So the first thing we're going to get into these Black Greek letter organizations. All right. The main ones, you got your Divine Nine. These are your big nine. These are the ones that everybody talks about. All right. The Divine Nine are Alpha Kappa Alpha, the AKAs, Kappa Alpha Psi, Omega Psi Phi, Delta Sigma Theta, Zeta Phi Beta, Alpha Phi Alpha, Phi Beta Sigma, Sigma Gamma Rho, and Iota Phi Theta. This is your Divine Nine. These are the ones that everybody talks about. These are the big ones that all of your Black college students are trying to get into. All right. And we're fitting to get into a 10th one later on tonight when we talk about the Boule. All right. Now, notable members of Omega Psi Phi fraternity. Like I said, tonight's class, we got straight drop on your Black elites, on your so-called talented 10. All right. Your so-called bourgeoisie. You did what I'm saying? So notable brothers of Omega Psi Phi fraternity, you got Jesse Jackson. But did you know that Jesse Jackson is one of the most powerful Freemasons in the country? Whoever thought that Messy Jesse, Mr. Keep Hope Alive, is one of the most powerful Freemasons in the country? All right, Reverend Jesse Jackson is a 33rd degree Prince Hall Freemason. He was made a Master Mason in 1987. All right, another Omega, Bayard Rustin. Now, he was a key advisor to Martin Luther King Jr. And he credited his Quaker roots. All right. His activism comes from his Quaker roots. The problem with that is that the Quakers have an involvement with the KKK. Now, I talked about this briefly when I went into my class on civil rights, is that the Klan are the Quakers and the Quakers are the Klan. And Bayard Rustin gives credit to his activism from his Quaker roots. All right. And these Klan Quakers are largely Methodist, as was Bayard Rustin. He was a member of the AME Church. And to show the affiliation, we got a woman named Daisy Barr, all right, Quaker pastor and queen of the Indiana Women's Ku Klux Klan. Like I said, the Quakers are the Klan, and the Klan are the Quakers. All right, let's walk. All right, Bayard Rustin was a prominent leader for communism, gay rights, and the civil rights movement. And again, he was the key advisor to Martin Luther King. And if you look at today, who benefits the most from the civil rights movement, it's the LGBT community. All right, they give enormous credit to the civil rights movement for much of their political and legal victories. This is the group today that benefits the most from the civil rights movement. All right, Steve Harvey, another Omega. All right, Steve Harvey was sued for sexual harassment back in 2016. All right, these are the people that we look up to. The people that we look up to belong to these organizations and belong to these societies. And I'm going to prove later that they're the black face of white supremacy. I'm going to prove later that these groups, these organizations, they are the black face for white supremacy. And he eventually settled out of court. All right, Langston Hughes, another Omega. All right, another Omega. Many prominent black leaders in the U.S. have connections to Freemasonry, including Langston Hughes. So not only was Langston Hughes an Omega, Langston Hughes was also a Freemason. All right, another Omega, T.D. Jakes, Omega Psi Phi. Mr. Swallowed Up. All right, a legal filing second pastor alleges televangelist T.D. Jakes sexually abused him. Good Lord. The second pastor has come forward accusing popular televangelist T.D. Jakes of decades-old sexual misconduct. And you're going to start to see this as this class continues, is that a lot of these people were into some Diddy shit way before Diddy. All right, a lot of these folks here was into some Diddy shit long before Diddy. All right, another Omega, Tyler Perry. All right, these people are involved in every aspect of the black community. All right, these organizations are involved in every aspect of the black community. All right, Tyler Perry on Wearing a Dress. I have a $2 billion franchise. Nobody told me to put a dress on. It was my choice. This man, nobody paid him like Young Thug. Nobody paid him to put a dress on. Right? The choice to put a dress on was his, according to him. But again, these groups, these organizations are in every aspect of black culture. All right. One of the nation's most prominent black fraternities has revoked the membership of 3 former officers involved in the death of Tyre Nichols. It was last year. Do y'all recall the brother that was beat to death by them black police officers in Memphis? All right, the brother Tyre Nichols that was beat to death by them black police in Memphis, they were members of Omega. All right, they were members of Omega. Like I said, these organizations are the black face of white supremacy. All right, these organizations are the black face of white supremacy. 3 Omega Psi Phi members are responsible for beating that brother to death in Memphis, Tennessee last year. All right. Honorary member, Louis Farrakhan. All right. Louis Farrakhan is another member, honorary member of Omega Psi Phi. Along with Martin. All right. Who all knew Martin was an Omega? All right. Another Omega, Martin Lawrence. Another Omega, Flip Wilson. Now, Flip Wilson was the first one I ever saw put a dress on back in the late 70s. All right, Flip Wilson was the first person I ever remember putting a dress on, putting this goddamn dress on. All right, another member of Omega. And D Wade, another Omega, Gabriel Union, Delta Sigma Theta. And we see what was the result of this. Again, we're going to be exposing these black elites tonight. All right. ISUPK Kentucky under Commander General Yohana Monday history class. Black History Part 3. We're exposing the black elites, your fraternities, your sororities, your Divine Nine, your Freemasons, your Prince Halls, your Eastern Stars. And we're going to talk about the Boule later. All right. But D Wade, another Omega, Gabriel Union, Delta Sigma Theta. And we see the result of this. All right, let's move to Alpha Phi Alpha. All right, let's move to Alpha Phi Alpha. All right, Martin Luther King Jr., Alpha Phi Alpha. He is in pledging, bottom right-hand corner. All right, explosive Martin Luther King documents amid JFK files. Now, we've been teaching this forever. Right, the UPK under Commander General Yohana has been teaching about the sexual deviance of MLK. All right, it says one Negro minister in attendance later expressed his disgust with the behind-the-scene drinking, fornication, and homosexuality that went on at the conference. Now, we talked about earlier, Bayard Rustin, an Omega, was pushing for gay rights. And we see these kind of activities going on in these JFK files with Martin Luther King. All right, it says several Negro and white prostitutes were brought from the Miami area in an all-night sex orgy was held with these prostitutes and some of the delegates. But one of the females shied away from engaging in an unnatural act. King and other males present discussed how she was to be taught and initiated in this respect. I don't even want to know what kind of unnatural act they were trying to get this prostitute to do. It is a fact that King not only regularly indulges in adulterous acts, but enjoys the abnormal by engaging in group sexual orgies. That's why the UPK has been calling this man Orgy Mike for years. All right, the UPK has been calling Martin Luther King Jr. Orgy Mike for years. And again, this is the people that we look up to, that belong to these organizations. All right, another alpha, Jamie Foxx, looking real beta, Salakia. But another alpha, another member of Alpha Phi Alpha, and Arsenio Hall, back in Coming to America, another member of Alpha Phi Alpha. All right, let's move to the women real quick. All right, Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, the AKAs. Kamala Harris is AKA, and she stressed abortion rights and early voting impact Atlanta rally. All right, this woman was planning to have our women abort their babies like 90 going north. Here's the problem. The most recent CDC report on abortion in the United States indicate that in 2016, the Black abortion rate was nearly 4 times the white rate. All right, Black women were aborting their babies 4 times as fast as white women were. As of 2016, black women were aborting babies at 4 times the pace of white women. And this is what Kamala Harris ran her entire campaign on. And she was an AKA. Again, these people are in every aspect of black culture. And Kamala Harris, her 4th great grandfather, was a notorious Irish slave owner. All right. And you're going to see also in dealing with some of these organizations, you're going to see that they also come from a white paternal lineage. All right. They came from a white paternal lineage and then eventually became the black face of white supremacy. All right. Another AKA Rosa Parks. All right. This is a famous photo, but it's a stage photo. All right. United Press International reporter Nicholas Chris accompanied Rosa Parks as she rode the bus. On that day, she sat in the front seat and he sat behind her. That man sitting behind Rosa Parks in that famous photo was a reporter. What was he doing there? The picture was then taken, and many have believed the man behind her was an angry segregationist. However, it was the reporter who came to cover the Montgomery bus boycott. All right, that picture was an absolutely staged event. All right, the white man, the oppressor in the photo, is not an angry segregationist. He was a reporter there to cover the Montgomery bus boycott. All right, Tyler Hilliard died after going to a nearby mountain with members and pledges of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. This was a young brother that died in a hazing ritual. All right, pledging Alpha Phi Alpha. This young man said he wanted to join the very same fraternity as Martin Luther King. And he died as a result of a hazing ritual because he wanted to be a part of the same fraternity as Martin Luther King. All right, there have been 219 deaths on record from hazing rituals in Black Greek letter organizations. All right, 219 people have died on record from hazing rituals in these Black fraternities and sororities. All right, let's get on into these Masons now. We didn't get into the Divine Nine enough. We didn't talk about them enough. Let's talk about these Prince Hall Masons now. Again, topic of tonight's class is the Black elite, fraternities, Masons, and the Boule. Let's talk about them. Prince Hall starts the African Lodge in 1784. All right, that's where you get the name Prince Hall Masons from. All right, Prince Hall starts the African Lodge in 1784. But Prince Hall was a freeborn in British West Indies. His father, Thomas Hall, was an Englishman, and his mother was a free colored woman from France. All right. Again, we've been talking about the founders of these organizations. We're going to see a lot of times have a white paternal lineage, have a white forefather. All right. And then they become the black face or the brown face of white supremacy. All right. Now, Prince Hall got put on by a man named Thornton Jackson. All right. The most prescient sovereign grand commander of the southern jurisdiction of the ancient and scepter Scottish Rite. This was the man that put Prince Hall on. And Thornton Jackson was put on by a man named Albert Pike. All right. Thornton Jackson was closely associated with Albert Pike, one of the best authorities on Scottish Rite Masonry who ever lived. Notwithstanding, Albert Pike is reported to have made the statement, "I took my obligation to white men and not to Negroes." He was a good friend of Thornton Jackson and aided him in carrying on the work of Scottish Rite Freemasonry. So Prince Hall got put on game by Thornton Jackson. Thornton Jackson got put on game by Albert Pike. But Albert Pike was a Klansman. All right, Albert Pike was a Klansman. So when we're talking about the origin of Black Freemasons, all right, it comes out of Albert Pike, and Albert Pike was a Klansman. Just like we talked about earlier with these Black Greek letter organizations, we talked about Bayard Rustin, who was an Omega, and Bayard Rustin comes out of the Quaker movement, and the Quakers are the Klan, and the Klan of the Quakers. So we see all of this white supremacy being pushed, all right, by so-called black faces. And again, a lot of these people have white forefathers. A lot of these people have a white paternal lineage, all right, like Kamala Harris, like Prince Hall. All right, Alex Haley. What's up with Alex Haley? Now, first of all, Alex Haley was a plagiarist. All right, 1977, he was accused of plagiarism in 2 separate lawsuits by Harold Corlander and Margaret Alexander. Corlander claimed that Roots was copied from his fictional novel, The African, 1967. All right, so if Roots was plagiarized by a fictional novel, that means that Roots is fictional. All right. If Roots was plagiarized by a fictional novel, that means that Roots is also fictional. All right. The Corlander suit was settled out of court for $650,000, the equivalent of $2.9 million in today's money, is what Alex Haley was sued for. All right. Alex Haley is a plagiarist. All right. Roots is fake. And Alex Haley was also a Freemason. All right, here's your source, Liberty Lodge number 95. So not only is he a plagiarist, Alex Haley was a Freemason. All right, Medgar Evers from the Civil Rights Movement. All right, 32nd degree Freemason. Again, these organizations, like I said earlier, are in every aspect of Black culture. All right, here's a scene from Ghost of Mississippi. All right, Medgar Evers. All right, National Association for the Advancement of Colored People activist assassinated in 1963, was a 32nd degree Freemason in ancient and accepted Scottish Rite. Now, also, coincidentally, the person that was found guilty of the assassination, Byron Della Beckwith, was also a Freemason. I dare anybody to check that out and see how much of a coincidence that is. All right, Shaq, another Freemason. Now, my question is, these are supposed to be this is supposed to be a secret. All right. These people are supposed to be hiding in plain sight. And how the hell is Shaq 8 foot tall ass finna hide any goddamn word? How the hell is Shaq 8 foot tall ass finna hide any goddamn word? All right, so like it. But Shaquille O'Neal is a Freemason. All right, 2011, Shaquille was initiated as a Freemason in Boston in the Widow Sons Lodge number 28. Richard Pryor, like I said, these organizations, whether you're dealing with Black Greek letter organizations, whether you're dealing with Prince Hall, Eastern Stars, the Boule, these people are in every aspect of Black culture. All right, living in Peoria, early 80s, Pryor would join Henry Brown Lodge, number 22. All right. But did y'all know that Richard Pryor had a 2-week relationship with a drag queen he said looked like Josephine Baker? He described the affair in his 1995 autobiography, I discovered that she was actually a he, and for some reason I didn't care. Now, like I said, you're going to see sexual deviance running through all this. We read about the sexual deviance of Bayard Rustin, the sexual deviance of Steve Harvey, the sexual deviance of T.D. Jakes, Martin Luther King Jr. All right, and now we're seeing Richard Pryor. All right, Marcus Garvey, another Freemason. All right, Marcus Garvey, another Freemason for you blackity blacks out there. Now, here's a quote from Marcus Garvey. He says, "The fact is that the modern Negro is a lazy, good-for-nothing slumberer. This is my conviction, arrived at by close and careful study and experience, and if something is not done for him, he will die as other unfit races have." This was a direct quote from Marcus Garvey in a telegram to Ernest Sevier Cox, his homeboy, also a white supremacist and a Klansman. But all Marcus Garvey is doing is repackaging a quote from Charles Darwin, all right, another white supremacist. It says, "In some future period, not very distant as measured by centuries, the civilized races of man will almost certainly exterminate and replace throughout the world the savage races." But we got the drop. We got the drop on Marcus Garvey. We know who Marcus Garvey is. We know who his family is. We know that his family has nothing to do with any kind of African. We know that the Garveys have nothing to do with any kind of Pan-Africanism. All right, the Garveys were Jacobites, black Jacobites that left out of Europe in the mid-1700s. We got the drop on y'all. All right, and this goes into the Fraternal Order of Police. All right, this goes into, again, your blackity blacks. All right, your Pan-Africans. Yeah, Shalom Trooper, what's going on with you, man? This also goes into your Pan-Africans. All right, your blackity blacks, your Afrocentrics. All right, Pastor Ray Hagins and Baba Heru, be with Sonnet and them. All right, Fraternal Order of Police. Again, these organizations run in all aspects of black culture. All right, the Boule. Let's talk about the Boule. This is the big dog here, y'all. It's the big dog here, y'all. We talked about the Divine Nine earlier. Right? Your Big Nine Black Greek letter organization. This is the 10th. All right, this is the big one. This is your big dog right here, the Boule. All right, the Boule. Like I said, if you're in the UPK under Commander General Yohana, you're familiar with the Boule. If you're on the outside looking in, all right, you might want to pay attention to this one here. You might want to pay attention to this one here. All right, the Boule was started by a man named Henry McKee Minton. All right, May 15th, 1904, Philadelphia. You're going to see a lot of this come out of Philadelphia. You're going to see your Quakers come out of Philly. You're going to see your AME Church come out of Philly. You're going to see your Free African Society come out of Philly. You're going to see your Black Founding Fathers of America come out of Philly. And you're going to see the Boule, also known as Sigma Pi Phi, come out of Philly. All right, now this was his grandfather. All right, John McKee. And let's read about what John McKee said about his lineage. Source, Secrets and Lies. My grandfather was no darky, said the light complexion John McKee. My grandfather was no darky. Remember I said earlier, a lot of these groups, a lot of these organizations, a lot of the founders of these organizations, like Prince Hall Freemasonry, all right, a lot of these people have a white forefather. A lot of these people have a white paternal lineage, and they end up becoming the black face or the brown face of white supremacy. All right, the Boule refers to an ancient Greek council of advisors to the king. All right, advisors to the king. All right, Boule means council. All right, these are the advisors to the king. Now, I said earlier that these people are the black face of white supremacy, and these are the advisors to the king. And when you're talking about the king, what king? Could it be the president? Could it be Boule member Robert Weaver as the nation's first African-American cabinet member? As you can see, he's advisor to the president. Robert Weaver was a member of Sigma Pi Phi fraternity, also called the Boule. He was the first African-American to serve as U.S. presidential cabinet 1966. This is what it's talking about, being an advisor to the king. All right, people like Broderick Johnson, another Boule member, White House cabinet secretary under Barack Obama, and Sigma Pi Phi member. Again, when it's talking about the Boule, it's talking about the advisor to the king. And in this case, of course, the king is talking about the president of the United States. All right, these are the people responsible for keeping up the status quo. All right, keeping up the status quo of white supremacy. And these people report directly to the king. All right, the Boule is also known as the Black Skull and Bones. All right, we have Grand Sire Archon Theodore A. Jones, standing with Thurgood Marshall, another Boule member. But Theodore Jones was an FBI informant. Like I've been saying all night, these people are in every aspect of Black culture. All right, as the Bureau is aware, the Chicago branch of the NAACP is headed by Theodore Jones, an executive of the Supreme Liberty Insurance Company of Chicago, anti-communist. Jones is a confidential source of this office. This particular Boule member that rode with Thurgood Marshall was the FBI informant. All right, source, Black Boule Exposed. This influential elite Black fraternity swore an oath to protect the white supremacist power structure. All right, this influential elite fraternity of Black men swore an oath to protect the white supremacist power structure. Because of their ambition, they have an indifference to their own race and have agreed to maintain the status quo. The people that you look up to, that you would expect to tell you, have sworn an oath not to. All of the people that we look up to, these people swear an oath to uphold white supremacy. These people swear an oath to tell us, the common folk, they swear an oath to protect the people that run this world. They swear an oath, like I said, to maintain the status quo and protect the white supremacist power structure. Why? Well, like I've been saying, a lot of these people that started these organizations have a white forefather. They have a white paternal lineage. Just like Prince Hall. All right, Prince Hall had a white paternal lineage. Henry McKee Minton, the founder of the Boule, had a white paternal lineage. All right, celebrating the founder of Black History Month, Carter G. Woodson, 1947. Carter G. Woodson is known as the father of Black history and the founder of Black History Month. Sigma Pi Phi, also known as the Boule, has membership including W.E.B. Du Bois, Martin Luther King Jr., Thurgood Marshall, and Carter G. Woodson. All right, the father of Black history, the father of Black History Month was the Boule member. And again, these people have sworn an oath to uphold the status quo. They've sworn an oath to protect white supremacy. And they tell us, the masses, that they're fighting for our interests. And the whole time, Boule means advisor to the king. So do you really believe that they're giving us accurate Black history. All right, if you want real Black history, real Hispanic history, real North American Indian history, all right, get in class in the UPK under Commander General Yohana in a city near you. All right, W.B. Du Bois is another Boule member. Now, this was in the book Black Bourgeoisie. All right, Du Bois has said that the best of the race should guide the masses away from the worst. It says students were taught to speak English correctly and avoid the ungrammatical speech and dialect. It says students were taught to speak English correctly and avoid the ungrammatical speech and dialect of the Negro masses. Again, these people are upholding a certain standard. All right. They sworn an oath to protect white supremacy, and they swore an oath to uphold the status quo. And they're going to section themselves off in what Du Bois called the talented 10. Well, I tell you, look here. You can keep your good King's English. I don't speak good King's English. All right. You can keep your good King's English. You can speak English correctly all you want to. All right. Even the phrase talented 10 originated in 1896 amongst white Northern liberals. All right. Specifically, the American Baptist Home Mission Society, a Christian missionary society strongly supported by J.D. Rockefeller, and had the goal of establishing Black colleges in the South to train Black teachers and Black elites. So when you're talking about training Black elites, teaching what you want Black elites to teach the masses, we're talking about being supported by J.D. Rockefeller. All right. And again, tonight's class, we're exposing Black elites. We're exposing the fraternities, the Masons, and the Boule. Now, something with W.B. Du Bois. All right, he also has a white paternal lineage. His great-grandfather, his paternal great-grandfather was a white man. All right, J.D. Rockefeller was an outspoken supporter of eugenics. All right, John Foster was the chairman of the foundation at the time, established the Population Council to advance family planning, birth control, population control, and goals of the eugenics movement. Now, how does this relate to W.B. Du Bois? Talks here about population control. Who knew? Did anybody know that W.B. Du Bois worked for Margaret Sanger? Did anybody know W.B. Du Bois, who has a white paternal lineage, was funded by Rockefeller, and his ideas about the talented 10? Did anybody know in 1939 Du Bois served on the advisory council for Sanger's Negro Project, which was designed to serve African Americans in the rural South? All right, W.E.B. Du Bois, Boule member, with his white paternal lineage, Black bourgeoisie, good King English speaking, worked for Margaret Sanger, and his job as advisory council was to push Planned Parenthood on Black people in the South. W.B. Du Bois, when he worked for Margaret Sanger, his job was to push abortions on Black people in the South. Again, you're not getting this anywhere else except for the UPK under Commander General Yohana. And again, this goes into Pan-Africanism too. All right, this goes into Pan-Africanism too. Asa Hilliard, Jacob Carruthers, Boule members. Now, who are they? They started the Association for the Study of Classical African Civilization, ASCAC, organization started by John Henry Clark, Asa Hilliard, Leonard Jeffries, Jacob Carruthers, Dr. Ben, and Marlene Karenga. Now, we're talking about the Boule tonight. So we're talking about Asa Hilliard, Jacob Carruthers. All right. But a sidebar, Marlene Karenga was also an FBI informant. But again, that's a different topic for a different class tonight. We're just dealing with the black elites. We're dealing with the Boule. All right. Asa Hilliard, Jacob Carruthers started ASCAP. And Brother Reggie, brother to be with Sonetta and them, he started the ASCAP. Started by Boule members, Asa Hilliard and Jacob Carruthers. All right, source Boule update. We recognize and are in debt to the great contributions made to our story. For that, we are grateful. But I must also point out the unfortunate side of Asa Hilliard's admitted membership to the Boule. Again, this goes all into Pan-Africanism. This goes all into this blackity black nonsense. All right, another Boule member, Charles Hamilton. All right, Charles Hamilton, an apostle of Black Power. All right, Charles Hamilton is one of the people that coined the phrase Black Power. Charles Hamilton was one of the people that coined the phrase Black Power. All right, Black Power, The Politics of Liberation is a 1967 book co-authored by Stokely Carmichael and Charles Hamilton. But we see Charles Hamilton on the Boule roster, Zeta chapter, New York. So even this whole Black Power idea, all of this is coming out of Boule members. And again, these people swear an oath to uphold white supremacy. Just like we read about Carter G. Woodson, another Boule member, known as the father of Black history, father of Black History Month. Can you really expect these people to give us real history? Can you really expect people that swear an oath to uphold white supremacy to really give us Black Power? All right, here's your Charles Hamilton right here on the Boule roster. Oh, and y'all are finna hate me for this one. Y'all are finna hate me for this one. Y'all are finna hate me for this one. Huey Newton. Oh, I done lost some viewers on this one. I done lost some viewers on this one. Y'all was finna hate me on this one. Huey Newton. All right, attended UC Santa Cruz. Now, UC Santa Cruz has a CIA affiliation, but tonight's class isn't about the CIA. He earned a bachelor's degree, and he was a member of Phi Beta Sigma fraternity. He later continued his studies, and in 1980 completed his PhD. Right, he was a member of Phi Beta Sigma. But Phi Beta Sigma rose with the Boule. Phi Beta Sigma rose with the Boule. So all of that, I'm black, y'all. I'm blacker than black, and all of this is Boule nonsense. All right, all of this is Boule programming. And again, these people are advisors to the king, advisors to the president. These people swear an oath to uphold white supremacy. They swear an oath to keep it a secret. That's why the people that we look up to will never tell you. And they act like they're fighting for our best interest. And we should have known that the civil rights movement and integration was going to be a failure, because Martin Luther King was a Boule member. All right, here's a quote from Steve Coakley. All right, Steve Coakley was the first to really expose the Boule back in the 90s. His quote is, "Greek is a fraud." His quote is, "Greek is a fraud." Like I said, Steve Coakley was one of the first to really expose the Boule back in the 90s. So let's drop that. Let's go to the Bible. Let's see what the Bible has to say about it. We're going to go to the book of 2 Maccabees chapter 4, verse 15. 2 Maccabees 4 and 15. "Not setting by the honors of their fathers, but liking the glory of the Grecians best of all." So we don't honor our mothers and fathers like the Bible says to. All right, we like the glory of the Greeks best of all. We like the glory of Alpha Phi Alpha. We like the glory of Omega Psi Phi. We like the glory of the AKAs, of the Freemasons, of the Boule. All right. We honor these people that prop up white supremacy, that swear an oath to uphold white supremacy, instead of honoring our mothers and fathers like the Bible says to. And if you really want to know how to honor your mothers and fathers, if you're Black, Hispanic, or North American Indian, all right, get in class. Get in the ISUPK under Commander General Yohana in a city near you. We're in every major city. Few foreign countries in the Caribbean, Central South America, few places in Europe, anywhere that Blacks, Hispanics, and North American Indians are. If you want to get real history, if you really want to know how to honor your mothers and fathers, again, get an ISUPK under Commander General Yohana. And with that, we'll go ahead and end the class. All right, ISUPK Kentucky Monday history class under Commander General Yohana. We'll do a courtesy salute. We'll end the class with a song. All right, shalom. Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah Barakathon. Yahweh Shemalathon B'Shem Yahweh Shah. Class is dismissed.
I don't give a love to fuck about what them bitches gotta say. I'm a West nigga till they put me in the grave. I don't give a love to fuck about what them niggas gotta say. I'm a West nigga till they put me in the grave. I don't care about what they say. Hey. Fuck with my Akima, fuck with my sisters, then I got a problem, I'm never gonna miss you. I got 100 hanging out the AR, I got a 50 hanging out the pistol. He say it's corner, I'm just being realistic. I be on them corner posted with the realest. If it's the Sabbath, then we going fishing. I'm reeling them in, that's a God-given mission. I'm really on 10, but I'm stamped in the pistol. I get the order, be glad of this mission. Hebrew Academy graduate, nigga. Training, put through the baddest conditions. I don't fuck with none but the baddest of bitches. She righteous, submissive, she glad to be with me. Had that thing Putin like Batman, niggas. She know I'm a prophet, she gotta be listening. I ain't having that shit, tell her go make some business from scratch. She bitchin' a different breed of black men. We don't do the back bend. I remember back when I was really trapping, trying to get the racks in, selling dope to black men. But now I'm trying to make it straight, like forget about my face. We standing up straight, can't fold us. Too heavy, the world won't hold us. Go get you some rank, I told you. Line up in these ranks, we soldier. You can take that to the bank, we focus on. How many times must we remind you? One body, one way, some break off and never take off as a place. When the law with you ain't no up next. It's just us, nigga, that's that on that. All that weak shit, that ain't no threat. Say you won't beat, bitch, with that ain't no sweat. We with all that. The Lord called a nigga out the world. I responded and called back. Oh, Lord. And everything that they stole from us, fuck that shit, we want all that. Them niggas snitching and they act like bitches. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They killing women and they fuck with sisters. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Come on the Commander General Yohana, we unaffiliated with them. Like they tongue and they say they keep that shit 100, we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine, that's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. That's why we unaffiliated with them. I cannot fuck around with fake niggas. We taking ground when we in your city. You better have the women, have the liquor. Keep that bitch on me, please don't butt the system. Don't be a fool and be another victim. Say you a goon, you just another Christian. How you my brother, you ain't in here with me. We in the gutter, deep down in the trenches. We with them niggas locked up in the prison. Black and Hispanic, Native American, Indian. We ain't just talking shit, but we living in it. We be everywhere, you can't miss it. And we be precious hell, take a picture. And we professional with the scriptures. Play, we gon' script them, yeah, we some killers. These nigga tripping, they mind blown. Swear business, forgive me if I'm wrong. I don't get it pause when niggas say that they be looking for niggas to slide. The only slide that I know about is when I assemble the and you niggas get wet up by me cause I'm fed up by rep UPK. My niggas won't let up, got choppers, got 9s, AKs, Berettas. You say you don't like me, you say you won't fight with me and my nigga like bitch or whatever. You say you don't like me, you say you won't fight with me and my nigga like, them niggas snitching and they act like bitches. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They killing women and they fuck with sisters. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Come under command and general, your hunter, we unaffiliated with them. Like they tongue and they say they keep that shit 100, we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Yeah. See, they always ask us like, why y'all fuck with such and such? Why y'all won't come together with such and such? I be like, we unaffiliated with them. Understand me? Like, niggas be out here on some weirdo shit. And to be honest, that's why we unaffiliated with them. Hey, 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 that's why we unaffiliated with them. Yeah. You boy, you know what time it is, nigga. Better watch how you step in, yeah. But that was my niggas, yeah. A minute, yo. Got my nigga Rawan with me. But that was my niggas, it'll be an honor. You know what I'm saying? Under command and general, yeah. Shit ain't gon' stop till we on top and we ballin', my nigga. We be fly as fuck, you know them bitches be stalking my niggas. That shit'll never change and it's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home, that's what my ribs say. But bitch, I'm grown, I'm in these streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me, then my Hakim gon' let him have it. Hey, think you the shit, this truth the shit. Nigga play, I let that Ruger hit. Get on them tracks, they be like, who is this? The shit, yeah, I know they can't stand us, but we UPK, Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm reppin'. And my niggas solid number, real ones in my section. If you wanna get down, put your boots on, start steppin'. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. How you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers because I love them. I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapping together. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time.